Hands on your heart. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. So I would take my guru's name. You can take your guru's name. So let us invite all the beings to help us understand the knowledge of astrology. To the Divine Supreme Court, Divine Father, Divine Mother, my beloved Guru, Grand Master Chua Kok Sui, his Guru, Lord Mahaguruji Mailing, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Goddess Ma Karni, Goddess Ma Lakshmi, Goddess Ma Saraswati, angels of astrology, angels of learning, angels of internet. We invoke for your blessings. May the session be filled with lot of knowledge, illumination, intelligence. May all the
boleh dimakan lapis legit sama brownies minggu lalu.
Lot of prosperity, abundance, happiness, joy, good luck energies, divine protection, divine mercy, divine guidance, and divine help. Thank you, angels of internet, for helping us have a smooth running session. Thank you all the beings for being present here. Inhale the blessings. Atma Namaste everyone. Welcome. I am Dr. Tushar Charan from India, and I'm a Vedic astrologer. I'm a Vastu consultant, numerologist, and a tarot card reader. So I specialize in all these things. So is Deti able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll make you the co-host.
Yeah, thank you. Just a sec. I just want to let you know that most of participants doesn't speak English. So do you mind to speak slowly in case?
Yeah.
In case some of them want to.
So whenever you feel, Diti, that I'm going fast, just unmute yourself and I'll repeat the sentence.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Same to participant here, yeah. If they feel like you running too fast or talk too fast, they can just raise their hand and speak.
Yes. Yeah. So if anybody has a problem at any moment of time, you can just raise your hand and I'll address that.
Okay.
So let us begin. So today our session is in two parts. First part is the difference between Vedic astrology and Western astrology. And the second part is how do we know our life purpose? Why we are born at a certain place, or why we are here, for what we are here. So we will understand that also. And before that, let us begin with the first part, that is the difference between Vedic astrology and Western astrology. So of course, there are, first we'll talk about similarities. In both the systems, there are 12 zodiac signs, there are 12 houses, and everything comes out to be the same. It's just the method of reading, the method of preparing the chart, that is the difference. Otherwise, both the systems are used to let us know about our life, how the incidents are going to be, what are we made up of, what is our mindset, what is our soul. So all these questions related to all these things of our life, these all are there in the birth chart that is formed at the time we are born. Okay. So in Vedic astrology, we use a sidereal zodiac system. And in Western astrology, we use tropical zodiac system. So this is one of the major differences. And because of this, there is a shift of one zodiac sign in both the systems. Like if we say in a layman language, in Western astrology, if somebody has got Aries as the ascendant, then in Vedic astrology, the person would have Pisces as ascendant. We will try to understand that. In between, yes, Diti, are you able to translate? Is the speed okay?
Yeah, the speed okay. I try to just like typing your statement in Indonesia, but I just like ask participant which way are more convenient for them.
Okay. So you can ask.
Ya, teman-teman, ini sebelumnya sistem translation-nya gimana nih? Akan lebih baik kalau aku menuliskan atau langsung setelah Ibu Tushar ngomong, aku ngomong? Teman-teman gimana?
Langsung ngomong juga nggak apa-apa, Mbak Dede.
Ya
Jadi,
kayaknya lebih efektif gitu ya.
Jadi setelah Ibu baru saya ya.
Iya.
Oke.
Oke. Ya, thank you ya Bu Retno sama Mbak Debbie. Yes, ma'am.
Sama-sama.
So, yeah, I think we go much more slower after you talk like certain sentence. I'm going to translate it instantly.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So we go on, we will share the screen. You can take the pictures, okay?
Teman-teman boleh screenshot ya. Oke, teman-teman udah kelihatan?
So this is
Yeah.
Purpose by Dr. Tushar Charan. So
Ya,
the
jadi,
first part is,
oke. Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am.
okay. So the first part is difference between Vedic astrology versus Western astrology.
Jadi yang pertama kita akan bahas perbedaan Vedic dan Western ya.
So first we will begin how these two systems originated.
Jadi kita akan membahas asal mula dua sistem ini berasal ya.
So the Vedic astrology goes way beyond the time, like 5,000 years ago. The sages and the munis created this Vedic astrology.
Jadi si Vedic ini udah ada dari sejak 5.000 tahun yang lalu ya. Berawal dari apa sih namanya Seers dan Sages itu kayak orang-orang suci zaman dulu ya, yang disebutnya rishis di Indian.
So in India, there is a spiritual text which are called Vedas. And Vedic astrology is part of these Vedas.
Jadi memang berasal dari satu kitab suci Veda di India dan Vedic ini sebagai bagian dari Veda tersebut.
And the best part about Vedic astrology is the scripts, the knowledge, everything is intact till date. It goes from one generation to another.
Jadi memang yang bagusnya nih soal Vedic, dia tuh saat ini masih rekam jejaknya masih bagus, masih komplit gitu loh.
Whereas Western astrology is traced back from the ancient Greek scriptures, then it went into Egyptians, then it went to Maya. So there was a lot of transformation in this.
Sementara kalau Western itu kan dari ancient, kemudian Egypt, kemudian masuk ke Mayan, jadi memang dia nggak dari source asalnya gitu loh.
So in between, the Western astrology it went away because people thought it is not scientific.
Jadi memang menurut Ibu Tushar, jadi Western astrology ini orang nggak terlalu into it karena dia tadi, sorry, can you repeat it again, ma'am?
Yeah, so the Western astrology in between got lost. It got broken because people thought it is not scientific.
Oh, jadi Western astrology ini dianggap nggak asli lagi gitu loh, karena orang menganggapnya emang nggak scientific gitu.
So very recently, around 100 to 150 years ago, it once again got into existence. And the Western astrology which you are reading is just 150 years ago.
Jadi Western astrology yang dikenal orang-orang sekarang itu sebenarnya baru dikumpulkan lagi sekitar 1.500 tahun yang lalu.
So this was about the origin of the two systems.
Jadi ini asal mulanya ya dari dua sistem Vedic dan Western astrology.
Now we will talk about the philosophical viewpoint of Vedic astrology and Western astrology.
Jadi sekarang kita akan masuk ke philosophical dasarnya ya dari Vedic dan Western astrology.
So in Vedic astrology, we believe in theory of reincarnation.
Di
Rebirth.
Vedic dipercaya adanya teori reinkarnasi.
So this means we believe in the theory of karma.
Jadi di Vedic itu sangat dipercaya adanya karma ya.
So what happens? A soul has a accumulated karma.
Jadi sebuah jiwa itu memiliki karma, teman-teman udah tahu lah ya. Gitu.
And a person to face this karma takes birth in the physical body, and a part of karma is given to him in a particular time.
Jadi sebuah jiwa itu terlahir ke dalam tubuh fisik manusia dan dia memiliki satu karma tertentu dalam kehidupannya saat ini.
So a soul is taking repeated birth, lifetime after the lifetime, to evolve.
Jadi sebuah jiwa itu bereinkarnasi dari satu kehidupan ke kehidupan yang lainnya untuk bertumbuh.
So the Vedic astrology tells us what would be the life path and what is the life pattern in one particular lifetime.
Jadi Vedic ini akan menginformasikan kita mengenai life path sama life purposes ya. Yang akan kita.
So in Western astrology there is no such kind of karma theory.
Jadi kalau menurut Ibu Tusar di Western astrology itu nggak ada teori yang seperti ini.
So Western astrology is mainly self-centered. They think there is just one lifetime.
Jadi kalau si Western menurut Ibu sangat self-centered, jadi dia sangat fokus terhadap satu kehidupan aja, satu masa kehidupan seorang manusia di bumi.
In Western astrology, the people believe in free will.
Jadi di Western astrology orang-orang percaya adanya kehendak bebas.
So the emphasis is mainly how do we react to certain situations, whereas
jadi kita menekankan bagaimana cara kita bereaksi terhadap satu situasi atau satu event dalam hidup.
Whereas in Vedic astrology there is free will and destiny, which is because of karma theory.
Sementara kalau di Vedic itu selain kehendak bebas juga ada yang namanya takdir atau destiny.
So am I clear on this point? Anybody has a question?
Jadi teman-teman gimana, udah cukup clear atau ada pertanyaan boleh silakan angkat tangan atau langsung chat ya. Ini saya coba baca chatnya di sini. I think it's all clear.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, clear.
Yeah, it's all clear ya. Kita lanjutin ya.
So
Yeah, please go ahead.
Now the major difference. The major difference is Vedic astrology follows the sidereal system.
Jadi kalau perbedaan yang sangat signifikan untuk Vedic ini mengikuti sidereal system dan teman-teman udah tahu ya.
And Western astrology follows the tropical system.
Sementara kalau Western itu mengikuti tropical system.
So in layman languages, we have a zodiac belt. Deti, do you teach about this zodiac belt in your astrology?
Let me ask teman-teman ya. Guys, Ko Michael ajarin ini nggak? Belt itu nggak?
Belt apa
Nggak
ya?
tahu ya?
Kalau udah pernah bahas sedikit mengenai sidereal vs tropical sih setiap kali. Kalau buat yang akademis sih sidereal tropical kita udah tahu bedanya.
Iya kan? Ya. Ma'am, I think most participants in here already knew about the sidereal and tropical, but the belt itself, I don't think they know exactly what kind of belt that you meant here.
Sebutnya sih belum pernah.
Yeah.
We have. Yeah. Yes, Daddy.
Yeah. Do you mind to talk about the belt in detail?
Yes. I'll tell you. So we have this Earth. Okay. Around this Earth, we have a belt, which is of our solar system. So it is 18 inches belt. In between, there is sun's ecliptic. And this belt is, okay, you could translate, Deti.
Iya, jadi Ibu Tusar bilang bahwa si bumi kita itu kan sebenarnya dikelilingi sama satu belt ya. Itu 18 inci. Aku nggak ngerti 18 inci itu merefer kemana. Tapi itu sebenarnya merefer kepada si itu tuh sun's eclipse yang mengitari bumi.
Ecliptic.
Ecliptic.
Sun's path.
Ya, teman-teman mungkin udah tahu kali ya ini sebenarnya mah.
Bentuk
Atau kita
eclipse
lanjutin
ya maksudnya Bu Dede.
Okay.
Kita lanjutin dulu aja kali ya.
So the zodiac
dulu aja
is
deh.
divided into 12 zodiac signs.
Iya, jadi zodiak itu kan dibagi ke dalam 12 zodiak sign ya, teman-teman udah tahu nih.
So in Western astrology, you believe that the sun is moving around the earth, and through this we get the zodiac signs.
Jadi kalau di Western itu kan dipercayanya bumi yang mengitari matahari gitu ya. Jadi makanya itu didapat sistem tropicalnya gitu loh.
And in Vedic astrology, we believe that from earth, how the sky looks at the time a person is born. A picture
Jadi
is
kalau sidereal itu sebenarnya point of view-nya dari bumi memandang benda-benda langit, bukan sun-nya itu sendiri gitu loh.
So according to this, the sidereal zodiac belt is more moon-centric. You know how the moon is placed.
Yeah.
So moon
Jadi
is
memang
divided into 27 lunar mansions. This is one of the major difference.
Jadi memang kalau si Vedic ini kan memang merefernya terhadap moon ya, di mana di si bulan ini punya 27 lunar mansion.
So every zodiac sign, like we have 12 zodiac sign, in Vedic astrology, we even have 27 constellations or nakshatras.
Jadi kalau misalnya di house itu 12, kalau di Vedic itu bahkan punya 27. Bahkan 27 gitu loh, 27 rumah yang disebutnya naksatra tadi.
So so in sidereal system and tropical system, because of the tilt of the earth.
Jadi memang perbedaannya karena apa sih, tilt itu kemiringan bumi ya.
There comes a difference of 23 to 24 degrees.
Jadi ada perbedaan sekitar 23 sampai 24 derajat lah antara sidereal sama tropical ini.
Do I need to explain what is sidereal or tropical, or you people know it?
Most participant in here know is like the difference between sidereal and tropical, ma'am.
So I'll just say a few lines about it, okay?
Okay.
So, like tropical zodiac system, it begins on 21st March, that is the equinox, spring equinox.
Jadi kalau misalnya si tropical itu kan mulainya 21 Maret ya, itu mulainya spring equinox.
Okay, but we see the stars are moving very slowly, very slowly. So like,
tapi kita ngelihatnya bintangnya itu bergeraknya sangat-sangat lambat.
So in 72 years, there is 1 degree shift.
Jadi dalam rentang waktu 72 tahun ada 1 derajat perbedaan gitu, pergeseran.
So in 285 AD, both sidereal and tropical zodiac began from 0 degree Aries on 21st March.
Sorry, can you repeat it again, that one?
I'll repeat. So in 285 AD.
285 AD. Oh,
So
285. Jadi 285 sebelum Masehi ya. Yeah, all right.
Vedic astrology and Western astrology both were at one point only.
Jadi disitulah di Vedic sama Western itu ngepas gitu ya posisinya.
But because of this 1 degree shift in 72 years,
tapi karena ada 1 derajat pergeseran setiap 72 tahun,
today there is difference of 24 degrees.
Jadi saat ini ada perbedaan dengan total 24 derajat.
So the tropical zodiac has moved 24 degrees more than the Vedic thing.
Jadi si tropical ini udah bergeser sekitar 24 derajat bedanya dengan si Vedic.
So if I have time later, I will draw and show it to you in the end.
Jadi nanti Ibu Tusar akan coba gambar ya kalau misalnya masih ada waktu.
So when
Yes.
in Western astrology, there is a sign of ascendant is of Aries.
Di Western astrology ada ascendant Aries ya, kita udah tahu.
In Vedic astrology, it is Pisces because 24
Di-
degrees is one full
Yes.
zodiac.
Yes. Kalau di Vedic itu Pisces ascendantnya gitu. Itu
Am
bedanya
I
sih.
clear on this? So there is a difference of one zodiac sign between the two systems.
Iya. Jadi teman-teman ada satu perbedaan satu zodiak sistem ya antara Vedic sama Western. Nah, sejauh ini gimana nih teman-teman bisa mengikuti?
Okay, shall we move forward?
Boleh lanjut ya?
Yes.
Kalau lanjut boleh ini aja yes gitu ya di chat. Oke, ya please go ahead.
Okay. So now the again, one more difference is predictive.
Jadi satu perbedaan lainnya adalah prediktif atau apa ya? Prediction.
Prediction.
Antisipasi dari life
So
events.
Vedic astrology is predictive.
Kalau Vedic itu prediktif,
It does more accurate predictions and it helps us to anticipate the life events.
jadi dia memberikan prediksi yang jauh lebih akurat untuk antisipasi dari peristiwa-peristiwa hidup kita.
So like in Western astrology, they go more on behavioral pattern.
Jadi kalau di Western menurut Ibu lebih ke arah behavioral ya, apa namanya perilaku gitu.
As they believe more on willpower, you know.
Jadi karena mereka lebih menekankan dan lebih percaya pada willpower.
The individual's ability to do certain thing.
Jadi si Western ini lebih fokus terhadap kemampuan setiap individu untuk melakukan sesuatu hal.
But in Vedic astrology, we believe
Tapi
in
kalau di
predictive terminology.
Sorry, you believe in what?
Prediction.
Oke.
Because
di
we
Vedic itu
believe in karma theory,
percaya-
you know?
lebih percaya pada prediktif karena ada faktor karma tadi.
As a soul takes rebirth lifetime after lifetime to evolve.
Karena itu tadi yang dipercaya bahwa sebuah jiwa itu bereinkarnasi di setiap siklus kehidupan untuk bertumbuh.
So from the birth chart,
Jadi dari birth chart atau natal chart,
we can predict when a person would get married,
jadi kita bisa memprediksi tuh kapan orang itu akan menikah,
when he would have a child
kapan dia punya anak,
or profession,
atau karir, profesi,
or challenging phases of one's life.
atau tantangan-tantangan yang akan dia hadapi dalam kehidupan ini gitu loh.
Why this is so accurate in Vedic astrology? Of course, in Western also you might be predicting all this, right?
Ini kenapa sih bisa begitu akurat sih, walaupun sebenarnya di Western juga mungkin ada ya. Teman-teman bisa say yes nggak di chat kalau memang ada.
This is because of nakshatras, lunar mansions.
Ya, kenapa dia begitu bisa presisi? Karena naksastra ini. Jadi dia menekankan pada pentingnya siklus bulan.
So we have 12 zodiac signs, you know, from Aries to Pisces.
Yes, I think most participants aware of it.
Okay, so the sun completes its rotation in 29 to 30 days, right?
Ya, jadi kalau bulan matahari kan, the sun ya, rotasinya kan
Sun completes one rotation in 29 to 30 days, right?
Iya. Jadi matahari itu 29 sama 30 hari. Hah?
So
The sun.
In Western astrology, the zodiac sign changes in 30 days.
Jadi kalau Western itu zodiaknya berganti dalam 30 hari ya?
But in Vedic astrology, it is mainly on moon sign.
Jadi kalau Vedic memang fokusnya ke moon moon sign ya.
Yeah. So the moon changes its duration in 2.25 days. That is 2 days and 1/4 day.
Jadi kalau bulan ini kan siklusnya 2,25, 2/4 hari gitu.
And this 2.25 days is further divided into lunar mansions.
Dan si 2,25 ini, 2/4 ini dibagi lagi menjadi beberapa lunar mansion.
Yeah. So like 12 zodiac sign divided into 27 nakshatras.
Jadi 12 zodiak sign itu dibagi ke dalam 27 naksastras namanya.
So literally 6 to 8 hours, one nakshatra gets changed into another.
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
So in 6 to 8 hours, one nakshatra changes to another nakshatra, goes to next one.
Into and
6 hours to 8 hours. Like in 8 hours, let's pick up 8 hours. So one moon sign consists of 2.5 nakshatra.
Jadi satu moon sign itu terdiri dari 2,5 naksastra.
And each nakshatra is further divided into 4 parts.
Jadi satu naksastra dibagi lagi ke dalam 4 bagian.
And now each part is, it talks about person's personality in different ways.
Dan setiap bagiannya itu menunjukkan personality dari seseorang dengan apa namanya?
So 4-minute difference, like if me and Deti has a 4-minute difference, we are different people.
Jadi kalau memang satu orang, misalnya ada A sama B, beda lahir 4 menit, itu karakternya udah sangat-sangat berbeda. Personalitinya juga udah sangat-sangat berbeda. Teman-teman bisa ngikutin ya? Saya jadi bingung sendiri ya.
So because of this, the Vedic astrology becomes very accurate.
Oleh karenanya, Vedic astrologi ini sangat-sangat akurat.
And what is moon? Moon is our mindset.
Jadi
So
moon di
it
Vedic
helps
itu
us to
adalah
understand.
mindset atau cara berpikir ya.
Now based on this nakshatra, there is one more system.
Nah, berdasarkan naksastra ini, ada satu sistem lainnya.
That is called dashas.
Yang disebut dashas.
Yeah. So Vim Shotri Dasha is the most important dasha of Vedic astrology.
I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce it. What dashas?
So let us keep dashas. So dashas are time periods of planets.
Jadi dashas itu adalah periode waktu dari planet.
So these are the main tools to predict a future event for people.
Jadi dasya ini salah satu tools untuk melihat atau memprediksikan masa depan seseorang.
And in Western astrology, transits is the main thing.
Jadi sementara di Western astrology banyakkan sistem transit gitu loh yang dipakai.
So now, how do we get this dasha?
Jadi gimana sih caranya kita mendapatkan dasya ini?
Whenever a person is born at a certain time,
jadi ketika seseorang lahir dalam waktu yang tertentu,
because of the nakshatra calculation,
karena naksastra kalkulasinya
we get the time period in which he was born.
Jadi kita kan mendapatkan periode waktu ketika dia lahir.
And this time period is unique for everybody.
Jadi si time period inilah yang unik untuk setiap individu.
It is not generic.
Jadi bukan hal yang generik ya.
So
Ma'am, there's a question. A question in the chat room from Kirana.
Yes.
Then you have to know your birth time, otherwise it will be a room for error for interpretation. Is it correct?
Yes. So you have to have your birth time, and by this birth time, with the Vedic astrology, we can predict every day of your life.
Jadi memang Mbak Kirana harus tepat gitu dengan dapat waktu yang tepat kita bisa memprediksikan time to time dari orang itu seperti apa.
So like I'm a Libra sign,
Jadi contohnya Ibu Tushar kan Libra nih sign-nya.
but when I was born, I was in a Jupiter dasha.
Tapi ketika Bu Tushar lahir, adanya waktunya di Jupiter Dasya gitu loh.
So these time periods of planets predict a lot
Jadi-
about our life.
Jadi periode planet inilah yang akan memberikan gambaran yang jauh lebih banyak tentang Ibu Tushar.
Like in Jupiter dasha period, one can have a lot of spiritual knowledge or wisdom.
Jadi misalnya Jupiter Dasya itu biasanya menunjukkan karakter orang yang lahir di sini memiliki wisdom, kebijaksanaan, atau ilmu-ilmu spiritual.
Whereas in Saturn dasha,
Sementara kalau Saturn Dasya,
you might face a lot of obstacles, hurdles.
jadi seseorang kalau lahirnya di Saturn Dasya, dia akan mengalami banyak hambatan atau tantangan gitu loh.
So these time periods are fixed. The years are fixed.
Jadi
And-
ini tuh sifatnya fix ya.
Yeah. So it goes to 120 years.
It goes to 120 years.
So in India,
Jadi-
we think that no one would live more than 120 years, right?
I see. Jadi may I just translate it for a while? Jadi si Dasya ini berlaku untuk 120 tahun. Cuma masalahnya kan orang nggak akan ada yang sampai 120 tahun ya gitu. Ya, please go ahead, ma'am.
Then, so because of this, maybe Deti, one day, if you want, I will tell you how to calculate this dasha and all. It's very interesting, and you can go to very deeper level of predictions. Okay.
Jadi Ibu Tushar bilang kalau memang teman-teman tertarik, mungkin nanti bisa ada kelas bagaimana sih menentukan Dasya ini gitu loh. Ma'am, just a second. There's a questions on the chat room.
Yeah, definitely. Ask.
Just a second. Okay. First one from Kirana. Is there any application to read this Vedic system on the internet?
Yes, yes. There is an app called Astro Sage.
Astro Sage. Jadi Mbak Kirana ada satu app yang namanya Astro Sage.
Wait,
Nah,
I'll put in the chat what it is called.
all right. And the second questions from Carolina.
Yes.
The accuracy of Dasya ini is up to the minutes that we are born or until the hours.
Minutes, 4 minutes.
Jadi 4 menit Mbak Carolina ya.
So like when we talk about twins, how do we differentiate between two children born at the same time? Twins. Vedic
Contoh
astrology-
misalnya anak kembar. Nah, gimana tuh gitu kan? Makanya dia perbedaannya sampai 4 menit. Oke, then the next question, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
4 minute difference is already big difference.
Yeah. So like even we go, when we divide these nakshatras into padas, 4-second difference is there.
Malah kalau di Dasya itu 4 detik. 4 second ya? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jadi 4 detik bahkan kalau di Dasya ini
So
apa-apaan.
Vedic astrology goes so deep.
Jadi Vedic itu benar-benar detail ya teman-teman gitu loh. Cuma kan sayangnya zaman sekarang mana ada sih yang nulis detik ya lahir ya. Oke, teman-teman kita bisa lanjutkan dulu ya. Ya, please ma'am go ahead.
Okay. And the next difference is divisional charts. Do you have
Jadi-
divisional charts?
Di Western ada nggak sih divisional chart teman-teman? Belum tahu ya? No, I'm not really quite sure what do you mean by divisional chart.
I'll tell you. So we have a birth chart of 12 houses.
Jadi kita punya birth chart yang dibagi ke 12 house kan?
In Vedic astrology, we take one house and create a divisional chart out of that.
Jadi di Vedic diambil satu house kemudian dibagi lagi. Nah, itu namanya divisional chart.
So like if somebody wants to know about the career,
Misal orang kan dia mau tahu nih karirnya gimana.
we create a 10th house chart, which is known as D10 chart.
Jadi mereka akan So if someone wants to know the career of him or her, she will take the one houses and then divide each chart.
Yeah.
One house.
Like in a birth chart, 10th house talks about the career option.
Yeah.
So in Vedic astrology, we create one chart of this, just the 10th house, and we divide it into 12 parts.
Oke, jadi misalnya mau tahu karir nih, dari house yang 10 yang biasanya soal karir dibagi menjadi 12 part atau divisional chart ini.
So these charts give us more information what the career would be.
Jadi si divisional chart ini yang memberikan informasi lebih detail mengenai karir kita tuh seperti apa.
Or we have a D7 chart for how the children would be.
Jadi misalnya house 7 tentang anak-anak gitu, itu bisa dibagi lagi menjadi divisional chart.
And there is one more chart which is created, which is known as D9, Navamansha.
Jadi ada satu, kalau di Vedic ada satu chart lagi yang namanya, sorry, D9.
D9, you could call it D9 chart.
D9 chart.
So that chart talks about the marriage.
Jadi chart inilah yang spesifik ngomongin soal pernikahan.
Life purpose.
Tujuan hidup.
So how we will move forward in life, the information is in D9.
Jadi gimana sih kita mau melanjut atau apa namanya? Bagaimana sih visi hidup kita ke depan tuh ada di sini, di chart yang itu. Tadi namanya
D9 chart.
D9 chart.
Should I draw and show it to you? Okay, in the end,
Yes.
we'll draw and teach you how it happens, okay?
Yeah, but do you mind to write it down? How to spell it?
Yeah, wait.
Oh, the 9. Number 9 chart.
Yeah. No, man.
Pak Indra nih udah oke nih kayaknya. Langsung cus.
Navamansha.
Oke. Navamansha. Is it specific houses in the chart or?
Ninth house of our main birth chart.
Oh, okay. The 9. I see. Ini
So
maksudnya ya? Oke.
Ninth house is our destiny house, right?
Oke. Oh, oke. Ya, teman-teman udah paham kayaknya.
So we have 16 divisional charts in Vedic astrology.
Jadi di Vedic itu ada 16 ya dibaginya gitu loh.
So this is also very accurate. It gives very accurate prediction.
Jadi karena 16 pastinya dia memberikan prediksi yang jauh lebih akurat gitu loh.
Anybody has a question related to this?
Ada pertanyaan lagi soal ini divisional chart? From Pak Indra.
Yeah.
From Pak Indra Gunawan. Yes, I can see the chart in the software that you just gave. Okay.
What?
Actually, it's not a question. It's just a statement.
Okay, fine.
All right.
So the next difference comes is about the yogas and special aspects.
Jadi perbedaan selanjutnya itu soal yogas dan special aspect.
So one yoga you must have heard that is physical exercises and keeping your body healthy.
Iya, kadang-kadang kan orang taunya yoga itu cuma kayak olahraga yoga ya, hanya untuk kesehatan tubuh ya.
And in astrology, in Vedic astrology, yoga means union.
Kalau di Vedic ini namanya penyatuan.
Combination of two planets.
Jadi penyatuan dari 2 planet.
Now the combination of 2 planets tell us more about our life.
Jadi kombinasi 2 planet itu akan memberikan gambaran yang jauh lebih baik tentang kehidupan seseorang.
In the way that will we have any kind of Raj Yoga?
Just a second. In a way that we're going to have Raj Yoga. What's that?
Raj Yoga means a lot of prosperity and a king's paradise.
I see. Jadi sebenarnya kombinasi 2 planet inilah yang akan memberikan gambaran apakah kita akan mendapatkan tadi istilah Raj Yoga tadi. Kelimpahan.
Or maybe we have a yoga that gives us health challenges.
Atau misalnya kita bakal dapat tipe yoga yang dimana kita akan mendapatkan tantangan dalam masalah kesehatan.
So like, for example, if Jupiter and Moon are placed in one house,
Misalnya Jupiter sama Moon dalam satu house, itu kan berarti kombinasi dua planet ya.
it becomes a super good position.
Ini sebenarnya tanda bahwa akan ada posisi atau hal yang sangat baik.
If anybody has this combination in the 9th house,
Jadi kalau orang punya kombinasi ini di house nomor 9 atau rumah ya.
they would lead a very happy and good life.
Jadi mungkin kemungkinan besar dia akan mengalami kehidupan yang super bahagia dan bagus gitu loh hidupnya.
So this is how these things also help. So we have like Mars and Moon placed at a place gives us
Jadi memang ini
wealth.
ya kombinasi planet inilah yang akan menghasilkan jenis yoga tertentu yang akan menunjukkan hidup kita tuh kayak apa gitu ke depannya.
Okay, any question related to this?
Oke, ada pertanyaan teman-teman atau ini mirip sama Western ya? Aku kurang paham ya. Gimana nih teman-teman? Atau no, we don't have any question on the chat room. I think we can continue, ma'am.
Okay. So the next is use of transits. Okay. Transits
Jadi,
you understand?
Ya, selanjutnya kita akan membahas mengenai kegunaan dari transit ya.
So right now, like Sun is in Sagittarius.
Kayak sekarang misalnya kan matahari, the sun, sign lagi di Sagittarius kan.
So in Western astrology, most emphasis is given on transits of planets.
Jadi kalau di Western itu kan empasisnya emang penekanannya di transit ya, transit planet ya.
It becomes primary feature to predict things.
Jadi itu menjadi feature utama untuk predicting di Western ya, untuk prediction lah.
Vedic astrology,
Kalau di Vedic,
we use, for us, transits is secondary. Primary is dasha system.
Jadi kalau di Vedic, yang tadi tuh, dasya itu utama untuk prediction, sementara transit itu baru kedua lah gitu, setelah dasya.
So I'll give you an example.
Jadi,
Like
Ibu
Sun is right now in Sagittarius, but for me, I'm moving in a time zone of Ketu Mahadasha. Ketu. You know
Jadi
the
sekarang misalnya, ya.
South Node.
Kayak-
South Node.
Jadi kan kalau misalnya contoh Ibu Tushar nih, sekarang kan lagi Sun di Jupiter ya sekarang. Sun in Sagittarius ya?
Yeah. So like if maybe deity can be, if we both are of Libra sign, our both sun are in Sagittarius, but I am in Ketu Dasha and deity can be in Mars Dasha.
Ya, misalnya ini nih sama-sama nih Sun di Sagittarius, tapi Ibu Tushar misalnya dasyanya tadi disebut planetnya berbeda gitu. Aku berbeda, misalnya aku dasyanya di Mars.
So then our life pattern, everything would be different.
Jadi pola hidupnya akan jauh berbeda gitu loh. Walaupun kita sign-nya sama, Libra gitu loh.
Whereas in Western astrology, we both will have sun and it says we will have a similar life, right?
Sementara kalau di Western itu kan akan nunjukin pola yang sama gitu.
So am I clear on this?
Jadi teman-teman gimana? Ibu Tushar udah cukup jelas di sini? Ada yang mau bertanya nggak? Atau terlalu cepat? Cukup, yes, it's clear. Ibu Kirana said it's clear. Please move on, continue.
Yeah. So the next difference is Western astrology is solar system, based on solar system, and Vedic astrology is based on lunar system.
Jadi kalau si Western kan kita semua udah tahu ya, itu based on solar, sementara Vedic based on lunar. Tadi udah dibahas di awal nih.
So in Western astrology, we believe the sun is moving around the earth.
Jadi kalau di Western itu kan kita percaya matahari mengelilingi.
The main emphasis is on psychology, personality, or characteristics of an individual.
Jadi sebenarnya fokus Western itu psikologi, karakter, behavior seseorang gitu loh.
Whereas in Vedic system, since it is moon-based astrology,
Sementara kalau Vedic itu kan moon base ya,
so it covers
berdasarkan
all
bulan.
the areas of your life, your wealth, children, everything.
Jadi dia mengcover semua area dari mulai kelimpahan, kekayaan, abundance, anak-anak, karir dan segala macam ya.
So the thing I was talking about, no, it's written here. Vedic astrology is basically moon sign over sun sign. Sun changes in 1 month's time, whereas moon changes its sign in 2.25 days.
Do you mind continue?
So which is why the predictions are more accurate. Okay?
Iya. Teman-teman bisa tangkap kan ya tadi?
Yeah. Maybe you can take the screenshot, Deti, and later you can translate.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, you will share the recording, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, all right. Because I don't do recording in here.
No worries, I am recording. I hope I'm recording.
I saw that you are recording.
So yeah, so the since the moon changes sign in just 2 days, it becomes very accurate rather than sun changes in 30 days. So all the people who are born in these 30 days, according to Western astrology, they are safe.
Jadi kan kalau si Western astrologi kan berdasarkan tadi ya, matahari yang rotasinya 30 hari. Sementara kalau bulan kan tadi 2/4 hari. Jadi memang jauh lebih akurat gitu loh.
Whereas in Vedic astrology, just 2 days, and these 2 days are further divided into 4 and 4 into more 4. So there is a lot of difference.
Jadi sementara kalau di Vedic itu udah berdasarkan bulan yang 2,25 hari, dibagi 4 lagi, dibagi 4 lagi, dan dibagi 4 lagi tadi yang 1 sampai dasya itu loh. Jadi memang jauh-jauh lebih akurat.
And now the other difference is planets. So in Vedic astrology, we have 9 planets. 7 are visible planets and 2 are nodes. A south node, north node, Rahu, Ketu.
Iya, seperti teman-teman baca di sini memang Vedic astrologi itu ada 9 planet ya, kita udah tahu. Kemudian ada Rahu, Ketu, sama ada
and 27
sama sih.
lunar constellations.
Dan ada tambahan nih 27 lunar konstelasi.
So like
yang disebut
we
tadi
have
sastra.
30 degrees of a sign, right? Zodiac sign is 1 to 30 degrees.
Iya, yes. One house is 1 to 30, yes.
And this nakshatra is 13.2 degrees. One nakshatra
Sementara
is 13.2.
Oke, satu naksatra itu 13,2, 13.2 ya.
Yeah. So there are 2.5 nakshatra for one zodiac sign.
Jadi ada 2,5 naksatra untuk satu zodiac sign. Kebayangkan ya teman-teman ya.
Okay. And in Western astrology, there are 3 outer planets, more than these.
Sementara kalau di Western kan ada 3 outer planet ya, Uranus, Neptunus, sama Pluto ya.
Yeah. But why we don't consider them?
Sementara kalau Vedic itu tidak mempertimbangkan planet-planet ini.
Because these planets are so tiny, they could not be seen through visible eyes, one thing.
Ya, satu hal sebabnya karena dianggap planet-planet ini terlalu kecil, nggak kelihatan sama mata gitu.
So in olden times, there were no telescopes, no?
Jadi kan nggak ada teleskop juga ya, melihatnya gimana juga gitu loh. Jadi memang nggak dipertimbangkan lah.
And these planet takes 248 years to complete one round. They're very slow.
Jadi si planet-planet ini juga kan butuh berapa ratus tahun tadi untuk mengelilingi bumi. Jadi dianggap terlalu lambat lah.
So in India, we think we take 120 years of age, so then we don't consider them.
Jadi kalau di India kan tadi ya, si dasyanya 120 tahun ya. Jadi yang nggak dipertimbangkan gitu loh, si planet-planet ini.
So this is one more difference between Vedic and tropical.
Western. Ya, jadi ini perbedaan lanjutan ya antara Vedic sama Western astrologi.
Okay. Now there is one more difference, the shape.
Jadi ini perbedaan lanjutannya. Bentuk
And,
natal chartnya.
In the Western chart, you have clockwise. movement.
Jadi kalau di Western itu kan searah jarum jam ya. Ya,
And in Vedic, we have anti-clockwise.
kalau di Vedic tuh berlawanan sama arah jarum jam.
So this is
Bacanya.
one more difference. And there is one more difference, that is remedies.
Satu perbedaan lainnya yaitu remedi.
Remedies are like how we can do corrections for certain planets which are not of good strength.
Jadi remedi itu merupakan upaya untuk memperbaiki aspek dari planet-planet yang nggak terlalu bagus lah.
So we can do religious activities for that.
Kita bisa melakukan aktivitas-aktivitas keagamaan atau spiritual gitu.
We can wear these rings. We can keep
Kita juga
vows,
bisa
we
pakai
can do
spesifik,
donations.
just a specific ring with crystal or
Yeah, crystal. Every planet is assigned with a crystal. Like for Venus, we have diamond. For Mars, we have coral. Do you want me to tell all? I can.
No, just a second. I just wanted to translate it for all the participants here.
Yeah, yeah.
So the remedy itu bisa macam-macam teman-teman, bisa dalam bentuk tadi aktivitas-aktivitas keagamaan, spiritual, atau memakai benda-benda ya kayak tadi cincin dengan spesifik kristal tertentu, atau donasi, fighting gitu-gitu. Ada pertanyaan sebelum kita lanjut? Sebentar di chat ada ya. Iya. There's a question from Pak Indra. So there's no Pluto ya? Yes,
Yeah, so
there's
in
no
Vedic
Pluto.
astrology, we do not have Pluto.
Jadi di Vedic itu nggak dipertimbangkan. Karena tadi alasannya dia pertama perputarannya lama, terlalu lambat. Sementara untuk Dasya itu kan 120 tahun nih. Jadi ya udah nggak di luar itu gitu loh. Makanya tidak
The
dipertimbangkan.
new ones are trying to study the importance of Pluto.
Tapi
The
memang
new
saat
Vedic
ini lagi.
astrologers.
Jadi memang saat ini Vedic astrologer lagi berusaha untuk mempelajari pentingnya Pluto ini seperti apa gitu loh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was about the difference between Vedic and Western astrology. Any question so far?
Jadi tadi perbedaan Western sama Vedic ya. Teman-teman ayo yang mau bertanya mumpung nih aku juga agak belibet nih. Cukup bisa dimengerti, bisa ketangkep atau bingung?
Dilanjut aja sih, clear kok, oke. Dilanjut aja.
It's all clear,
Okay.
ma'am.
So
Yeah.
there is one more difference that is called as directional strength.
Jadi ada satu perbedaan lagi nih, namanya directional strength atau kekuatan arah.
So we believe that when sun is placed in 10th house, it gets a great strength.
Jadi kita tuh percaya kalau misalnya sun sign ada di rumah ke-10 itu akan memberikan kekuatan tertentu gitu loh.
Not sun sign. If the sun is placed in the 10th house.
Sorry. Kalau sun ditempatkan di rumah ke-10.
So it gets a directional strength. Same way if Saturn is in the 7th house, planet Saturn.
Jadi dia akan memberikan ada efek menguatkan sama halnya seperti Saturn di house ke-7 ya.
Yeah. So same way all planets have these directional strengths.
Jadi setiap planet ini dipercaya memiliki aspek yang menguatkan tadi.
So this is also a difference between. So I don't think in Western astrology you have this.
Jadi Bu Tusar sih berpikir kayaknya nggak ada deh ini kan di Western. Cuma saya nggak tahu nih teman-teman yang expert di Western ada nggak seperti itu aspek menguatkan.
Belum.
No.
Belum pernah bahas deh.
Yeah. Irana said yes, you are right. There's no such thing in Western.
Yeah. So if ever you guys want to understand and read Vedic astrology, contact me. So Deti, you have done a course with me, right?
Yes, we will, ma'am. No worries.
Okay. Now we go to move forward to the next part, that is life purpose.
Jadi kita lanjut ya ke tujuan hidup.
Now, so life purpose, what it is? It is why we are born. What is our
Jadi,
purpose?
jadi teman-teman tahu dong ya, life purpose itu sebenarnya
What are our
mengetahui,
limits? What are our skills?
ya, mengetahui apa sih tujuan kita hidup, kita tuh bawa skill apa, talent apa, dan apa sih misi kita di dunia ini gitu loh.
So in the birth chart, there are
Jadi di
many
natal
things.
banyak hal.
In the birth chart, we have many things by which we can know the life purpose.
Jadi di natal chart itu kita bisa melihat banyak kombinasi yang kita bisa akhirnya tahu tujuan hidup kita itu untuk apa.
So today I would be talking about
Jadi hari ini Ibu Tushar akan ngomongin soal
how to know your life purpose by placement of moon and sun.
bagaimana sih mengetahui tujuan hidup kita dengan penempatan bulan dan matahari.
So wherever your moon, whichever zodiac your moon is in, we can know our life purpose. And wherever the sun is placed, we can know. I will talk about it.
Iya, jadi di zodiak kita di mana ada moon and sun inilah kita bisa tahu nih life purpose kita, tujuan hidup kita tuh apa.
Then by the ascendant also we can come to know our life purpose.
Jadi dari ascendant juga kita bisa tahu life purpose kita apa.
So if we have time, in the end, I will talk about that also.
Jadi kalau ada waktu nanti Ibu Tushar akan coba ngomongin soal ini ya.
So the placement of the sun and the moon in your chart, this suggests what are we here to learn.
Jadi penempatan matahari dan bulan, sun and moon ini di dalam natal chart kita akan memberikan gambaran apa yang harus kita pelajari di kehidupan kita saat ini.
Okay, so what does moon tell us?
Jadi si moon ini dia ngasih tahu apa sih ke kita gitu loh.
Moon in our horoscope tells us the skills which we acquired from lifetimes.
Jadi si moon ini memberikan gambaran tentang talent atau skill kita yang kita bawa dari kehidupan masa lalu.
So in Vedic astrology, we call it sanskaras.
Kalau di Vedic dibahasakannya samskara.
Sanskaras. I'll put that. Habits. The English word is habits.
Atau kebiasaan.
So the moon, as you all know, is the mindset.
Jadi si bulan ini kan sebenarnya pola pikir ya, mindset gitu loh.
So everyone's moon sign.
Jadi moon sign-nya setiap orang itu
tells us about the skills we have acquired from past life.
Jadi ya itu tadi memberikan gambaran skill atau talent yang kita bawa dari kehidupan di masa lalu.
So we will go through all the 12 zodiac signs.
Jadi kita akan masuk ke setiap 12 zodiac sign ya ngebahas ini.
So how everybody's moon sign is like. So if somebody's moon is in Aries.
Misal ya, ada moonnya di Aries.
So that person was a warrior. He was aggressive. He was full of energy.
Jadi kalau misalnya dia ada moonnya di Aries, biasanya sih kehidupan masa lalunya mungkin dia warrior gitu ya. Jadi membawa karakter-karakter yang agresif gitu, kompetitif.
So all these qualities he has in this lifetime.
Jadi kualitas-kualitas karakter inilah yang dia bawa ke kehidupan dia saat ini gitu loh.
So you all can check whichever is your moon, you can know what you have.
Jadi bisa dicek ya di Vedic app-nya tadi pada punya moon nggak nih di Aries-nya. Okay, there's a question from just a second, ma'am. There's a question from Pak Indra.
Yeah.
To see the moon using Navamsha chart or which chart?
You just see your birth chart in front of moon, whatever number is written. Like if 1 number is written, you are Aries moon. If 2 is written, it is Taurus. And we will move in the same order. Okay?
Jadi enggak, Pak Indra katanya lihat di birth chart-nya aja. Nanti dilihat di depan moon-nya itu ada nomor.
Is it clear?
Cukup jelas nggak? Udah bisa kelihatan nggak? Oke, clear. Thank you.
So moon in Taurus is a person who is very calm,
Jadi kalau moonnya di Taurus, dia itu sangat kalem gitu ya orangnya.
grounded,
Ya sangat-sangat inilah, grounded lah.
and you know all the Taurus qualities, like he's more focused.
Jadi kualitas-kualitas dari Taurus lah, teman-teman udah tahu lah ini ya.
So these
Saya
are the
lebih
qualities you have to operate in this life.
Nah, kualitas-kualitas inilah yang harusnya yang ada dan melekat ke orang tersebut di kehidupan saat ini.
Is everybody understanding what I'm talking about?
Jadi teman-teman paham nggak?
Paham. Understand.
Yeah, understand. Because because ma'am, the quality of the sign is already discussed in our class.
Okay, so we'll quickly go then, right?
Yes.
So the moon in Gemini, past lives you have been very analytical, communication, logic-based. These were your mindsets, and you have all this in this lifetime also. All these things.
Kalau moonnya di Gemini tuh itu tuh banyak pintar berkomunikasi, analisa, logiknya natural. Kemudian pemikir gitu ya, thinker.
Then the Cancer person was very nurturing, caring, emotional, and so is he here in this lifetime. So, you know, why we are studying, these are the qualities you already have. Now the sun thinks we have to acquire.
Iya. Bu Kirana is having moon in Cancer, ma'am.
So she's very emotional and she's very sensitive, very caring, very nurturing.
Iya, memiliki sifat keibuan gitu ya.
Is she
compassion, kasih. Hah?
Is she that way? Can you ask her?
Iya, Bu Kirana gimana? Ya, yes, indeed. She confirm.
Okay, great. So we are going in right direction. So the Leo person is full of leadership, and you know, he's a royal moon. So he likes to be treated in a royal manner.
Nah, sementara kalau orang-orang moon di Leo itu tuh, ya ampun, dia memiliki sifat-sifat karakter leadership, tapi ya itu, dia pengennya dihormati.
A Leo
diangkat.
person always demands respect, you know, you just can't put him in a corner.
Jadi mereka itu sangat-sangat pengen dihormati gitu loh.
Then comes the Virgo. So again, the Virgo people are very analytical and detailed and precision.
Sementara yang moon di Virgo itu detail, analytical, precise ya, perfectionist. Jadi can you explore on the exploring humility? What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah.
So humility means, like, you know, the Leo person wants to be in front seat. I have done this, I have done that. Whereas the Virgo person is behind the scene doing things. He doesn't need acknowledgement.
Behind the screen, more humble ya?
Yeah. He's more humble.
Jadi mereka, jadi moon in Virgo itu tuh, ya itulah, rendah hati gitu ya. Mereka banyak melakukan hal di balik layar.
Then comes moon in Libra, that is me. So these people have these harmonious traits. Wherever they go, they want to create a harmony, and they want to put everybody in the group. And so sometimes they use the diplomatic traits to have everybody around. And they are more fair people because, you know, the scale, moon sign is depicted by a scale.
Jadi kalau moon in Libra kan teman-teman udah tahu ya, gambarnya tuh kan timbangan. Jadi si orang-orang moon in Libra ini lebih pengen ada harmoni, keseimbangan, balance, pengen orang-orang tuh lebih ngumpul, akrab gitu-gitu.
And moon is Scorpio are the people who are always within. They are into transformation, so they know how to reach to their goal. Very secretive people.
Oke, jadi Scorpio itu lebih ke dalam diri ya dia. Jadi so memang dia
deep into themselves.
Iya.
Then moon in Sagittarius are people who have been too much into knowledge, wisdom, exploring, attaining higher knowledges.
Iya, sementara yang moon di Sagittarius itu ya itu lebih ke arah
Very
orang-orang yang
dharma oriented, dharma, justice.
Hah?
Dharma.
Oh,
In India, we call it
Dharma.
dharma. Follower of beliefs and morality and all that.
I see. Okay.
And now the Capricorn people are, again, these people are very Saturn oriented people. So very grounded. They know the life lessons and they can be stable. They can help people to evolve. And
Dan sementara
organization skill also they have.
iya, ya gitu ya teman-teman, seperti dibaca di depan tuh orang moon in Capricorn seperti itu.
And the Aquarius people are more into humanity, charity and friends, social circle. They can interact with very different people. So their purpose of life is to create a service kind of environment, used to serve people. They are into serving people, NGOs.
Jadi kalau moon di Aquarius itu pengennya serving people gitu ya. Jadi
And
memang
the Pisceans are the highest form, very closer to attaining the salvation. Very spiritual beings they are. Lot of
jadi
intuition
moon in
power.
Jadi yang moon in Pisces itu intuisinya biasanya kencang dan sangat-sangat sensitif. So, ma'am, can you explore meaning if one having moon in Pisces, what is her life or his life purposes?
His life purpose in this life is to firstly attain a lot of spiritual knowledge. And they have to learn to go beyond the material thing, to get detached from this worldly affairs and go beyond that.
Okay. Jadi
So,
ini sebenarnya
understand one thing, the moon, wherever your moon is placed, are the qualities that are within. Now, when we go to the sun sign, we have to acquire those qualities. Wait, I'll explain that, then you'll get an idea. So your moon sign suggests where you already have skill, familiarity. You already have these traits, right? And now we come to the sun sign. So wherever your sun is placed, okay, whatever is the number. Like for me, I have a Taurus sun. 2 number is written in front of my sun. So our sun sign tells us what all we need to acquire in this life.
Jadi kalau sun sign, jadi sun sign itu lebih memberikan gambaran apa yang harus kita pelajari dalam kehidupan saat ini.
So now what we can do is, like moon sign was telling us that these things we have, right? But the sun sign, like if somebody has sun in Aries, okay? Translate this deity, then I'll talk.
Okay. Ya, kalau moon kan dia memberikan gambaran tentang kualitas atau skill atau talent yang kita punya ya. Sementara kalau sun sign itu lebih memberikan gambaran kita tuh harus mempelajari apa dalam kehidupan saat ini.
So if somebody has sun in Aries, he has to develop leadership skills in this lifetime.
Jadi misalnya kalau orang punya sun di Aries, maka dia harus istilahnya belajar quality leadership dalam kehidupan saat ini.
Authority,
kekuasaan gitu loh.
Some fire he has to get some fire, to do work, energy. He has to build energy.
Jadi si orang tadi yang sunnya di Aries ini sebenarnya butuh lebih banyak mengeluarkan energi lah. Dia harus benar-benar belajar bagaimana sih menjadi seorang leader yang baik gitu loh.
And if somebody has sun in Taurus,
jadi kalau orang punya sun di Taurus,
so they have to gain all the qualities of being stable, little grounded, not flying, just on the.
Jadi gitu ya cara menerjemahkannya teman-teman. Jadi kalau misalnya sun sign di Taurus, ya dia harus belajar kualitas-kualitas yang dimiliki oleh Taurus tadi gitu loh. Lebih stabil, grounded gitu loh.
Excuse me, ma'am. The screen is still on our sun in general, but
see, there is a hint that whatever the moon sign was saying, which we had, the sun sign we have to acquire. So we can go back to the slides and understand that. But just to save time, I'm just telling you that whatever your moon is telling you already have, the sun says you have to get those qualities in this life. So your life purpose is to acquire those qualities. So
No,
to
I mean your current screen is still sun in general, but not sun in detail, like a sun in.
So I had not made the slide. Deity, can you
Oh,
explain? I had
okay.
not made the slides because they. Wait, let me go back. I'll tell you.
Ya, jadi memang Ibu Tusar sengaja nggak
So
buat
like,
tuh, karena kan tadi udah dibahas nih.
like Moon in Aries says that I have these qualities of being aggressive, being warrior, being competitive. So the sun in Aries says that I have to develop these qualities. I have to learn to become a warrior, a strong person.
Ya, oke. Jadi memang sengaja Ibu Tusar nggak buat, karena sebenarnya dari slide sebelumnya kita udah bisa nih, misalnya Moon in Aries. Ini kan sebenarnya di masa lalunya dia punya kualitas seperti ini kan, yang dia bawa dari kehidupan saat ini. Nah, kalau misalnya dia punya Sun di Aries, maka dia harus mempelajari kualitas-kualitas ini dalam kehidupannya dia saat ini.
So same way like Taurus, the person who has Sun in Taurus, they need to have calmness, stillness, focus. All these qualities we have to learn.
Ya, gitu ya. Jadi Mbak Kirana, jadi ini udah dibahas nih di slide sebelumnya. Nah, kualitas-kualitas ini sama kok. Cuma lihatnya nanti sun-nya ada di mana gitu.
So Deity, do you want me to repeat for every sign or people can understand?
Teman-teman ini mau diulang apa nggak usah?
Mbak Dedi, saya mau capture yang Leo dong. Leo tadi.
Caroline want to capture the moon in Leo.
Yes, Deity.
Caroline want to capture the screen which shown the moon in Leo.
Definitely. I'll just put all the screens, you can capture the pictures. So like the Gemini sun, the person who has sun in Gemini, that person has to learn the communication skill. He has to learn about he has to grow his intellectual level.
Ya, jadi kalau misalnya dia punya sun di Gemini, maka di kehidupan ini ya dia harus belajar untuk lebih lebih berpikir, belajar berkomunikasi, analisa, logik gitu-gitu.
So, for all the star sign, whatever qualities are written for the moon sign, you have those qualities. And if your sun is placed in like Leo, then you need to develop the leadership qualities. You need to have strength, commanding thing.
Jadi teman-teman ini ya bisa dipahami ya, pokoknya kalau moon itu sesuatu karakter atau skill, talent yang kita bawa dari kehidupan masa lalu. Tapi kalau sun itu mengenai tujuan hidup kita di sini tuh untuk belajar kualitas-kualitas itu dalam hidup kita.
So like for all these signs, like for Sagittarius, if somebody has sun in Sagittarius, then he need to grow on a spiritual level. He need to acquire knowledge. So there is one the Virgo and Gemini people will study, they will have intelligence. The Sagittarius person has to have knowledge, spiritual knowledge.
Contoh kalau misalnya teman-teman punya sun di Sagittarius, ya harus di kehidupan saat ini memang harus fokus terhadap hal yang sifatnya spiritual, memperoleh wisdom, yang gitu-gitu.
And same way for the moon in Aquarius and moon in Pisces. So like if somebody has sun in Pisces, then this person also have to learn to grow spiritually high. And he has to detach from this world. And because, Pisces is the last sign. It is almost the exit.
Jadi
it can be a last lifetime for some people.
Really? Last reincarnation?
There are many levels of truth, Deity.
Okay.
It can.
Ya, oke. Jadi kalau misalnya orang punya sun di Pisces ya, berarti di kehidupan saat ini dia harus fokus ke spiritualitas, mendevelop apa ya, karakter compassion, loving kindness gitu, empati. Karena tadi Ibu Tusar bilang kemungkinan karena Pisces ini kan the last sign ya dalam zodiak kita. Nah, itu
Like, to have
biasanya
salvation, no, Deti, you have to have your moon in Pisces, sun in Pisces, ascendant in Pisces, and Ketu placed there in the 12th house. So these many are not possible for everyone.
jadi aku nggak nangkep nih sebenarnya, tapi intinya tadi sih yang sebelumnya Ibu bilang bisa jadi Pisces itu kan karena terakhir ya. Jadi mungkin aja orang itu memang harus detach dari kehidupan material ini karena mungkin ini kayak apa ya, siklus terakhir lah dalam siklus, aku nggak tahu siklus apa ya maksudnya gitu loh. Tapi mungkin siklus kehidupannya atau gimana, nggak ngerti.
Now, first I'll complete the slides and then I will talk about the ascendant, okay? So the courses I conduct is Basics of Vedic Astrology. This is for 3 days, where I talk about 12 houses, 9 planets, and 12 zodiac signs. Then I take the Advanced Vedic Astrology, which is 23 days class. And there you have you learn these time periods, dasha system, nakshatra, and all this. Then I teach basics of Vastu, which I'm beginning from tomorrow. This is what type of land should we buy, what type of house we should construct, what colors we should have on the walls of different rooms. Can you translate, Diti?
Ya, jadi ini adalah kursus-kursus yang Ibu Tushar adakan ya, Basic Vedic, Advance, sama Basic Vastu Sastra. Nah, Basic itu biasanya Ibu ngadainnya 3 hari, untuk Advance ini 23 hari, kemudian Basic dari Vastu Sastra ini akan mulai besok. Biasanya ngajarin soal apa ya, warna-warna ruangan, arah-arah ruangan yang baik, gitu-gitu.
Even the paintings we put, no? They have to be put in the right direction or they have a bad impact on us.
Bahkan ini apa namanya gambar-gambar ya, foto-foto itu harus dipasang di dinding yang tepat karena kalau enggak dia akan membawa ketidakberuntungan sama yang punyanya. Ini mirip sama Feng Shui ya, tapi versi Vedic.
Yes, it's related to Feng Shui. So where should we keep the almirah to attract a lot of money, wardrobes, and so Feng Shui is mainly on the energies. This is on directions.
Jadi kalau Feng Shui biasanya fokusnya di energinya, kalau ini difokus di arah-arahnya.
So in case anybody is interested, tomorrow we are beginning. Then I teach basics of numerology also.
So, tadi kalau kata Ibu ya, kalau ada yang tertarik di kelas Vastu Sastra akan mulai besok. Kalau mau silakan kontak. Kemudian Ibu juga ada kelas yang namanya Basic Numerologi.
Because in numerology, date of birth we can't change, but we can change our name spelling. So we can get the most out of our life.
Jadi dari Basic Numerologi ini sebenarnya bisa merubah nama ya. Kalau tanggal lahir kan nggak bisa dirubah, tapi nama kita bisa rubah untuk mendapatkan peruntungan yang kita mau.
And in case anybody is a pranic healer, then I take a session of correlation of planets and chakras.
Terus kalau teman-teman ada yang di sini healer ya, pranic healers ya, energi healer, itu biasanya ada relasi antara planet dan cakra-cakra.
So this session talks that when we do the healings of our chakras, our planets gets healed.
Jadi ini sebenarnya korelasi gini, kalau misalnya kita menghealing spesifik cakra di satu tubuh manusia, itu biasanya ada korelasi dengan planet-planet tertentu gitu. Jadi planet-planet itu otomatis tersembuhkan juga.
And then medical astrology, which talks wherever the planet is placed, what diseases you will have.
Jadi medical astrologi juga ya, teman-teman udah pernah dapat ini nih.
And then we have karma and astrology. So what are the karmic relationships? Why do we have? What are the relationships we would have? How to know through the birth chart?
Kemudian karma dan astrologi juga, Ibu juga ngajarin tentang kaitan dengan chart kita dan
maybe
karma.
The karma theory, which is the main basis of our Vedic astrology.
Dan karma teori juga ya, yang merupakan basic dari Vedic astrologi ini. Nah, ini udah selesai nih teman-teman, ternyata kelasnya. mumpung nih mungkin ada pertanyaan.
Yes, Diti, are you saying something to me?
No, I'm saying to everybody whether they have questions or not because the class seems over.
No, I have one more topic. In case anybody has a question, let's take the questions, then I can talk on my topic.
Alright. Teman-teman, ternyata ada satu topik lagi. Cuma sebelum masuk ke situ, ayo kalau ada pertanyaan nih sama Ibu. Actually, Ibu Kirana, ma'am, she asked, can you please go back on the moon in Cancer and what is the specific life purpose of this kind of person?
Okay, wait. So for the the person who has moon in Cancer is filled with lot of emotions and lot of motherly traits, right? Now, if somebody has sun in Cancer, for them, the purpose is to have these characteristics. Acquire.
Jadi, kalau misalnya orang punya sun di Cancer, maka dia harus belajar kualitas-kualitas yang dimiliki oleh Cancer ini. Seperti
I will take her question in the next session also. Shall I remove the screen?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, you can continue.
So now, this was about the moon sign and this about the sun sign. Now there is one more thing, that is your ascendant. Everybody gets a unique ascendant. Do you have ascendant, Deti, in your birth charts?
Yeah, punya. Sorry. Yes, we do have it.
Okay.
So teman-teman kita akan bahas ascendant ya.
Whatever ascendant you have, that is the pattern, that is what you are going to work about.
Jadi di ascendant ini itu adalah menunjukkan pola, sesuatu yang harus kita work on di kehidupan ini.
So like the moon is your mind and sun is your soul, okay?
Misal moon adalah mindset kita ya, cara berpikir kita. Sementara sun itu adalah soul kita atau jiwa kita.
But the ascendant is the way we are going to operate in this life, how we are going to do things.
Jadi ascendant itu menunjukkan bagaimana kita harus beroperasi atau operate, like apa ya, bersikap lah, bertingkah laku dalam kehidupan ini.
So the ascendant tells us mainly about the life purpose. Like the one who asked about the moon in Cancer, can you tell me what is your ascendant? Then I'll tell you exact purpose.
Ya, Mbak Kirana bisa nunjukin nggak ascendantnya apa? Biar Ibu Tushar bisa nunjukin. Jadi Pak Indra asks, how to recognize the ascendant in the astro sage or the planet name, like or SCC?
Ascendant is called Lagna. It is the first house. Jadi
ascendant itu rumah pertama, Pak. Rumah pertama ya. Oke, Ibu Kirana answer, her ascendant is Scorpio, and her moon is tadi apa, Cancer. Sun-nya apa, Bu Kirana? Sun Capricorn.
Okay, so now we will take Kirana's example and understand she has ascendant as Scorpio. Now what happened in past life, what she was doing was she was more focused on family life and accumulating wealth and all this. But in this lifetime, her purpose of her life is to go within, to transform herself, to understand what is she about. So the people who have Scorpio ascendant, their life purpose is mainly to transform themselves, to evolve their habits, grow more on their personality. Are you able to understand, Kirana?
Ya, Bu Kirana, Bu Kirana, jadi di kehidupan saat ini dulunya katanya lebih banyak menumpuk kekayaan, menumpuk
So,
kekayaan. Jadi
so
lebih
like
banyak
if
fokus keluar
somebody
lah.
has Aries ascendant, so in past life, this person was only looking after the family and all. He did not bother about. So, the ascendant, how do we get our ascendant is when we were dying in past life. Please translate, Deti, then I'll talk more.
Ya. Jadi gimana sih seseorang bisa dapat spesifik sign di dalam ascendannya itu ketika dia meninggal?
So
Ya.
when we were dying, there were some unfulfilled desires,
Jadi ada hal-hal yang tidak terpenuhi di saat dia meninggal itu.
So whenever a person dies, he feel, oh my God, the whole time I was looking after the family and these things, and I just forgot about myself.
Jadi di saat dia meninggalnya itu, dia punya sesuatu yang, kok aku belum kerjakan ini, belum kerjakan itu, belum ini, belum itu. Nah, itu yang menjadi ascendannya dia. Kayak semacam, it's like a homework or a desire ya of a person ya.
Yeah, so so the person who died thinking about this, he is born with Aries ascendant. So in this lifetime, he has to grow his physical body and all the Aries qualities he has to develop.
Jadi tadi ceritanya gimana sih seseorang dapat ascendant Aries. Nih di dalam kasus, in the case of Ibu Kirana,
Yes.
her ascendant is Scorpio, right? And you mentioned that her purposes in this lifetime is more self-centered, inner, goes to inner, transform herself.
So there is a difference between Aries and Scorpio. Aries is developing the personality traits. Scorpio is going within, understanding the soul journey, developing spirituality, learning astrology, becoming the profession you can take is of occult sciences.
Bu Kirana is a lawyer.
Okay, that must be because of the 10th house, na? But in this life, she has to understand what is her soul.
Jadi Bu Kirana sebenarnya lebih ke arah harus memahami jiwa ibu gitu, inner transformation.
Then there is one more thing, Kirana, if you can tell me, where is your Mars placed?
Marsnya ada di mana, Bu Kirana? Dilihat di situnya.
Which house?
Just a sec.
Pisces.
Pisces.
Yes.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In the 5th house, right?
4th.
4th house?
Yes.
No, then it has to be in Aquarius.
I'm taking a look from AstroSage's website.
So your ascendant is 8 number or 9 number?
My ascendant is Scorpio Pada 2. I don't understand. This is the number is Pada 2.
I got it. Pada is nakshatra divided in 2.
Oh, okay.
And Mars is Pisces, right?
Yes.
So it should be in your 5th house then.
Okay, but on this chart, Pada is 4, so I don't understand.
Okay, fine. So let's take. So now, what is your soul purpose? It is again coming to that only. You have to develop your skills.
Okay.
So this is your purpose in this life, So some people have like a Taurus person has a purpose that he has to look after the family, and he has to get into this. He has to accumulate wealth. He has to go into luxuries. But a Scorpio person has to develop his skills, internal things,
What do you mean skills, internal things? Is it spiritual or soul skills?
Spiritual, soul, all these occult type of things. Not the material things like the Aries person can become a mass boxer or something like that, He can show his muscles.
Like
but a Scorpio person will develop on the, transformation, internal transformation.
Okay.
Jadi tadi yang kata Ibu Tushar tuh mungkin belajar skill-skill yang membuat kita itu mengenal diri kita sendiri jauh lebih baik gitu loh. Supaya kita bisa bertumbuh lewat skill-skill itu.
So now if somebody has a Cancer ascendant, So this person has to, his life purpose is to have these motherly traits, nurture people. He has to show emotion, love, because in past life, what this person did, he was too much oriented in career. He was too much into work thing. So when he was dying, he thought, oh my God, I did not think about the family, the love, the house, nothing. I was just working, earning more money. Can you
Jadi contoh
translate?
yang ascendant di Cancer, dia mungkin pas waktu meninggalnya tuh berpikirnya, aku terlalu fokus di karir, ngejar kekayaan, dan segala macam, aku lupa keluargaku. Nah, makanya dia di kehidupan saat ini, dia harus fokus ke keluarga, develop tadi kualitas-kualitas nurturing, keibuannya, motherhood-nya, gitu-gitu loh.
And like if somebody is Leo ascendant, that person was so busy with the friends and society, he did not care about developing his own skills. What is he good at it?
Jadi kalau misalnya ascendant Leo, biasanya pas waktu meninggalnya dulu, dia terlalu sibuk melakukan service buat komunitas, society, dia lupa terhadap dirinya sendiri. Jadi dia terlahir sebagai ascendant Leo, dia harus fokus terhadap ya tadi keakuannya gitu loh. Pengen
So in this life,
pengen dihormati,
a Leo
respect.
ascendant has to work on himself, to develop his skills. Like just like the Scorpio thing, the Scorpio has to go within. The Leo can learn to play a guitar or some painting skills, or mainly he can have these leadership qualities, how to lead a group, how to lead a business. All this he has to learn.
Jadi si ascendant Leo itu kalau dia udah punya ascendant Leo, berarti dia harus punya skill-skill yang bisa dia punya kualitas-kualitas Leo tadi gitu loh. Jadi
So
leader
he can't be part of he can't be part of a group. He has to stand alone.
Jadi dia tuh nggak bisa jadi bagian dari komunitas, dia harus benar-benar skill-skillnya tuh yang memang mengangkat dia sebagai satu individu yang ascendant di Leo.
And if we take Libra ascendant, so the Libra person, what he was doing in past life, he was more concentrated on what he is and his thing, his. But now he has got this. So when he was dying, he was again thinking, I did not think about creating a family, my wife, I neglected, I did not love my wife. So in this life, he's got a Libra ascendant. So here he has to have a family, he has to have these partnership. He cannot stand alone. He has to operate in a group, a closed group.
Jadi kalau contoh nih ascendant Libra, dulunya dia terlalu individualis. Terlalu egois lah, mikirin diri sendiri. Jadi di kehidupan saat ini dia harus fokus terhadap komunitas atau berpartner dengan orang. Gitu.
And if somebody has a Capricorn ascendant, then past life he was too much busy in, he was very emotional. He was just building his house and having vehicles. He did not focus on the career thing. He was more on the emotional thing. Now in this lifetime, he has to become more grounded and he has to focus how to develop his career skills or how to earn money and all that stuff.
This is ascendant in Capricorn, right?
Yeah.
Jadi ascendant di Capricorn memang di kehidupan saat ini harus fokus terhadap hal-hal yang bisa akumulasi kekayaan lah gitu, karir gitu-gitu.
So like, we have these 12 houses and we have 9 planets. So when we take out the summary of all these planets, every planet is saying something we have to do in this lifetime. Then we get exactly what is our life purpose. And from the D9 chart, we get very accurate life purpose.
Jadi dari kombinasi 12 house tadi sama 9 planet, kita tuh bisa tahu tujuan hidup kita, terutama kalau lihat di 9 house, rumah yang ke-9 tadi ya.
D9 chart, yeah. Divisional chart.
D9 chart.
Yeah. So maybe someday we will take it's going to be a long session on D9 chart. Maybe we can take that someday. But for now, it is like your moon sign tells what you have, how you think, how you will react to a certain situation. The sun sign will tell us what we need to acquire in this life, what are the qualities. And the ascendant also tells us about how with the moon and sun sign we are going to operate in this life. So these three things tell us what is your life purpose. So we can just make notes and then take out the summary out of it.
Jadi sebenarnya kesimpulannya tadi ya, untuk mengetahui tujuan hidup kita lihat dari kombinasi sun, moon, dan ascendant gitu. Kalau dari moon, kita akan tahu karakter-karakter atau talent, skill apa yang kita bawa dari masa lalu. Sementara sun-nya itu menunjukkan karakter yang harus kita develop, skill apa yang harus kita develop, kualitas karakter apa yang harus kita bangun di kehidupan saat ini. Sementara dari ascendant itu bagaimana kita mengoperasikan dua kualitas itu gitu loh.
So if we take Kirana's example, so she was moon in Cancer, right? And sun in Virgo and ascendant Scorpio. Okay?
No, sun in
Capricorn. So now what we can understand is Kirana is a very emotional person. So she has to go beyond her emotion and she has to learn that she doesn't have to get sensitive and emotional about things, but she has to be more grounded, like the Saturn, and then she has to go within and develop her inner state. Right now, her inner state is very emotional, very flexible. She has to become a little sturdy. And,
Sun in Capricorn, ma'am.
Yes?
Sun in Capricorn, not Saturn.
Yeah, so sun is Capricorn is Saturn, the lord of Capricorn is Saturn.
Oh, I see, okay. All right.
So when we are talking about all this, we have to see the lord of the ascendant also. We have to see these lords also. But that's again a very long thing. This I do for my clients, I tell them, I read their birth chart and I tell them what it is about.
Okay, all right. Jadi Bu Kirana udah jelas ya?
Udah.
Jadi tapi itu confirm nggak seperti itu?
Ya dulu sih emang gue emosional, tapi sekarang gue pikir gue udah lebih grounded sih.
What did she say?
At the young age, I'm too emotional because I'm a lawyer probably, and my environment needed me to become a very strong person. But nowadays, I feel that I am more grounded, and yeah, I learned about astrology, occult sciences, and so on. So I think
the sun in Capricorn puts you into these lawyer kind of lawyer or government officials or all this. You tend to get those things. So, but there are, again, as my guru, Master Chua says, there are multi-levels of truth. Like onion, you keep peeling and one truth comes out, the other truth comes out. So certainly in 2 hours, we cannot reveal everything.
Iya, jadi kata Ibu Tushar ya, karena kami gurunya sama ya, Master Chua.
Related to astrology, I can answer.
Jadi ada pertanyaan lagi nggak? Oh ini, ma'am, there's a question from Ibu Retno.
Yes.
So, what we have to do is like to what? Pertanyaannya gimana, Bu Retno?
Jadi kayak misalkan tadi kalau ascendant itu berarti kan kebalik, yang kita lakukan adalah kebalikan dari ascendantnya itu gitu ya, atau gimana maksudnya? Kalau tadi kan
enggak.
Oke.
Tadi yang aku tangkap adalah gini. Jadi kalau melihat life purpose kita adalah melihat dari kombinasi sun, moon, sama ascendant-nya. Nah, kalau lihat dari moon itu adalah karakter atau traits yang kita punya. Kita tuh sudah punya kayak Ibu Kirana tadi. Dia kan moon-nya di Cancer ya, maka Ibu Kirana itu sangat emosional, sensitif, keibuan, motherhood gitu ya. Tapi kemudian sun-nya kan di Capricorn. Nah, ketika sun di Capricorn, sebenarnya ibu tuh harus belajar untuk lebih ke arah lebih grounded lah, jangan terlalu sensitif, jangan terlalu emosional gitu, lebih stabil lah gitu. Itu yang harus dipelajari di kehidupan saat ini. Nah, dengan ascendant di apa tadi? Ascendantnya di mana sih, Bu?
Di Scorpio kayaknya tadi ya.
Scorpio.
Nah, ascendennya di Scorpio itu menunjukkan Ibu Karana itu harus banyak melihatnya ke dalam diri. Karena yang dibutuhkan di kehidupan saat ini adalah inner transformation, bukan fokus keluar gitu loh.
Oh iya,
Jadi
iya.
makanya Ibu harus cari skill-skill yang memang bisa membuat Ibu tuh lebih grounded, lebih stabil, dan melakukan inner transformation gitu. Untuk Ibu Kirana ya.
Iya,
Gitu
iya.
cara
Oke,
baca.
oke. Baik.
Mm-mm.
Kak, berarti kalau sun sama ascendennya sama itu berarti bagaimana ya, Kak? Sun sama ascendennya sama.
Ma'am to sir, Bu Retno asked, what if the sun and ascendant in the same house?
So then you have a more focused thing, like for Kirana, there are 3 ways to operate. If somebody has like a sun and ascendant in, like I have sun and ascendant in the same thing. So these people are very popular. They have a lot of name, fame, and provided what is the sign, we have to understand that. What is the number written there?
Jadi sebenarnya Bu, katanya yang aku tangkap sih, kalau misalnya sun sama ascendennya sama, itu sebenarnya harus lebih fokus. Fokus berarti kan kualitasnya sama ya, mirip di situ ya.
Oh, oke,
Ketangkep
oke,
nggak Bu?
oke. Iya, iya, iya. Oke, terima kasih.
So first house is like your personality, and if you have sun there, then that is, wherever you go, people will acknowledge you. They cannot just ignore you.
Iya, jadi kan kita udah tahu tuh di Western kalau house pertama itu kan personality ya, menunjukkan personality kita seperti apa. Orang melihat kita ya nggak? Kita menunjukkan orang seperti apa. Nah, kalau misalnya sunnya di situ berarti biasanya orang ini cukup dikenal lah.
The way
Karena
the sun
karakternya cukup kuat.
shines, we shine like that.
Gitu, cukup kuat karena karakternya. And then next question from Pak Indra, is there any difference between rules and lord? Rule and lord.
Lords and what?
Rules.
Rule is what? I don't know the word. Can you
Pak
type?
Indra,
Pak Indra bisa
in Western astrology, there's a rule planet. Example, the Gemini rules.
Ruler and lord, same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you.
So for Capricorn, the ruler is Saturn, the lord is also Saturn, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you.
So there is one more difference in Vedic astrology and Western. So for Vedic astrology, we take like first houses, if somebody has like, if Kirana has this Scorpio ascendant, so it is 31 to 30 degrees Scorpio only. But in Western astrology, say about if she has an ascendant of 15 degrees, then it moves forward to Sagittarius. So it kind of becomes cusp. Do you see this way in your Western astrology?
Ya, Ibu Tusar barusan jelasin tadi yang perbedaannya. Jadi kalau misalnya ini kalau saya nggak salah tangkap ya, misalnya ada di degree yang 15, maka dihitungnya dia zodiak setelahnya. Iya nggak sih? Can you repeat it again, ma'am?
So what I was saying that in Vedic astrology, if we have a planet placed, we think that it's a complete house. Like if the ascendant is Sagittarius, then it is complete Sagittarius for first house, right? But you can translate this, then I'll tell you.
Jadi kalau di Vedic itu dia melihatnya lengkapnya kan satu house itu kan 30 derajat ya. Jadi kalau misalnya ascendannya Sagittarius, ya dia satu rumah itu Sagittarius dilihatnya. Yeah.
But in Western astrology, if the Sagittarius is of 15 degrees only, then it moves forward to next house because it has to be 1 to 30, no? So then 2 houses gets the energy of Sagittarius.
Jadi sementara kalau di Western ngelihatnya misalnya dianya ada di 15 derajat, dia dihitungnya ada di 2 house, 2 rumah gitu loh energinya, ya nggak? Sementara kalau Vedic tadi dia udah satu-satu aja, dia nggak akan ke house yang setelahnya, gitu.
Then we even in Vedic astrology we have aspects. Do you people have aspects?
Yeah, in Western, yes.
Okay, fine. So aspects as in like this Jupiter has 5th, 7th, and 9th aspect. Do you have this?
Kalau di Western teman-teman gimana? Jupiter misalnya punya 7, 9 aspek. Ada nggak sih di Western? Ini expert Western astrologi gimana nih? Aspek ada nggak?
Ada.
Aspek, yes. Yes, we do have aspect.
These
In
three
Western.
aspects you have. I think you have just one aspect. I don't know.
Jadi aspeknya ada 3 atau 1 aja, Bu Kirana?
Ada lebih kok, more than one aspek.
Okay, fine. Then the aspects are same.
Okay. Jadi aspeknya mungkin sama ya. Tadi kan Ibu bilang kalau misalnya satu planet itu di Vedic ada 3 aspeknya biasanya.
So now anybody has a question?
Oke, ada pertanyaan lanjutan nggak sebelum kita tutup? Teman-teman, ada yang komentar mungkin atau bingung? No, there's no questions, ma'am.
Were you able to understand what I taught?
Yes, we can
teman-teman.
understand.
Yes, we can.
Your language is very clear, and so thank you for everything.
Thank you. So Deti, you can send me the response and feedback of everyone in the group.
Yeah,
Whoever gives in English. So shall we close the session, or you can ask me any question related to astrology?
Before that, if I want to learn more, like just now you mentioned about the courses, how can I contact you, or how can I register?
That you ask Deti. Deti, can they contact me personally, or you can organize a class?
No, I want to
can
join your class. Yeah,
you know?
the class that you have. Yeah, because I'm a English speaking.
Okay, which class you want to join, Vastu or astrology?
The Vastu.
So my phone numbers were there in the slide. You can ask Deti to give you my cell numbers.
Okay.
Yes. I will forward it to Ibu Yan.
Okay, right. Thank you.
So you can get in touch. Tomorrow we start the class.
Mm-hmm.
And if
is it 1 day class or what?
No, it's 11 days. 11.
Oh, okay.
What about the time?
It's Indian time, 3 to 4 p.m. And you will get recordings for a day. Every day.
Okay, 3 to 4 p.m. India time. Yeah, that's because 2.5 hours different. Okay, right. So it's 5:30.
Yeah. So first, let us close the session. So in case anybody wants to go, they can. And meanwhile, I can address your questions. Okay. Hands on your heart. Thank you to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, my beloved Guru, Grand Master Chua Kok Sui, his Guru, Lord Mahaguruji Mailing, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Goddess Ma Karni, Goddess Ma Saraswati, Goddess Ma Lakshmi, angels of astrology, angels of internet, angels of learning. Thank you all for being present here. Thank you for helping us understand the subject of astrology. Thank you for blessing all the participants with a lot of prosperity, lot of abundance, spirituality, good health, good luck energies. Thank you for blessing all of us with divine protection, divine mercy, divine guidance, and divine help. Thank you in full faith. Inhale the blessings. Share it with your family members. And I'm sharing with all of you. May God and my beloved Guru bless all of you with whatever your heart desires.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And
Madam Tushar.
I have a program which I can share it with Deti and she can give you. In that, I have taught how to write your wishes, how to write your goals and targets for year 2021. And throughout the year, I'm going to bless your wishes so they come true. So in case you want to see that session, you can watch that and write your wishes. So throughout the year, I'm going to bless.
All the wishes in here, all the participants in here, yeah?
Yeah. So Deti, I will send you the link. You can share it with all the participants and they can see that session and write their wishes. In case they can send me the picture, very good, I'll put in the group. So you can fold your paper and send me the picture.
Okay. Okay. Do they have to like join a class for that, or you just send you the?
I'm sending the recording of that class. That's a gift for all of you.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank you.
Madam.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Tushar.
you, Madam Tushar.
Thank
So,
you.
Atma Namaste. Thank you to Deity for giving me this opportunity to share this knowledge. And
Dede.
Michael also.
Thank you.
Dede.
Thank you.
Dede.
And I would like to apologize to
Dede.
all participants because they have been waiting for like more than 2 months for this class,
I'm
ma'am.
so sorry.
It's okay. It's
It's
okay.
okay, no problem.
So was it worth the wait?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Yes. Worth it.
So we hope to have more sessions. Maybe Deity can guide me what you guys want to learn, and we can have a session on numerology specifically for you people, or anything which you like. And you're more than welcome to join my classes in case you understand English.
Yeah. But the thing about your classes in India is all mixed with Hindi. To be honest, I cannot follow.
No, so we can go slow, or I repeat every sentence in Hindi as well as English, and the slides are all in English.
All right. So thank you again for today's
Thank
class.
you for joining, all of you.
Yeah.
Have a great 2021.
You too.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Bye.
Thank you and namaste.
Atma Namaste, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Atma
Namaste,
Namaste.
Madam
I will send you the
Tushar.
recording, Deity, okay,
Yes.
of this session.
Yes. And then the other session, the one that you offer for free, yeah?
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
session I'm offering, that will remain for 2-3 days. This one remains for 1 day or 2 days. How many days you want?
Jadi teman-teman biasanya recordingnya itu nggak dikasihin langsung, tapi ibu akan ngasih biasanya link yang bisa teman-teman nonton lagi. Nah itu maunya 2 hari apa 3 hari?
Oh, maksudnya jadi ada time limit pada saat kita dengerin setelah hari ketiga terus di lock gitu ya?
Iya,
Oke.
gitu linknya. 3 hari.
3 hari.
3 hari. Ya boleh. 3 hari. Oke.
Yes, Deity.
Alright. They need 3 days to watch the recordings.
Okay, fine. I'll send them to
Yeah.
you. Okay. Bye.
Alright.
Thank you. Atma Namaste.
Thank you, namaste.
Namaste.
Terima kasih semuanya.